Opie and Anthony. Of course, Jim Norton. Louis C.K. Louis, where are you playing? Long Island?
Long Island, the Westbury North Fork Music Hall?
Yeah.
Thing Place.
It used to be the Westbury Music Fair. They called it.
And then it was the tent for a while.
Was it?
The music tent, and now it's the hall. I don't know.
Now it's, the North Fork Bank.
The Long Islanders now.
It's on Saturday.
They know. And it's in the round, right?
I think so. I think we're... I don't know. I don't know if I'm, like, rotating in the round or something.
Yeah, you are in the round.
I think it rotates really slow.
The stage rotates real slow.
Yeah, that's
I saw
awful.
Bob Saget there.
Yeah.
And he was making fun of some old lady that was at his show.
And he had to keep pacing, like...
No, and then all of a sudden, like, his perspective, because like you just said, the stage, rotates so slow that you don't even think it's rotating. Mm-hmm. So what was hilarious, he wanted to go back to the old lady to make fun of her again. And he's pointing, and she's no longer over there. She's now behind him, and everyone starts laughing and yelling, she's now over here. And he was so confused. Because you have no idea that thing is slowly rotating.
No.
And you got to concentrate on what you're wearing from the back also.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, usually you get up there, you don't care if you're baggy pants, hanging ass, whatever.
Yeah.
Now you got to kind of look good from all around, 360.
Yeah. I usually have caca on the back of my pants.
I saw Yes in the round once.
Caca. Really?
How were they? It was Yes.
In the round.
They're not many better from behind.
It was
they're great.
It's not like when you see the back of Yes, you go, oh my God, that's what all the hoopla's about.
What I was missing.
It was a 3-hour show, and they played 4 songs, so it was terrific for everybody.
I've actually done that gig, the Westbury Music Fair. I didn't headline it. Actually, I did it years ago, 2002.
Ooh.
But I was in the round. I didn't in the round.
No, you didn't.
No.
Yeah. No, Lou, I was the closing act. But I did it in the round with Jay Black and the Americans, who has the record for the most sellouts in the Westbury Music Fair. A little bit of trivia.
Hey, I like that trivia.
And he's filthy. He drops the C-bomb.
Really?
Oh, he's a dirtbag when he talks.
He's a hoot.
Really?
Yeah, he's great. What's he
Jay
sing?
and the Americans?
What's the big song he sings?
Only in America. You mean that?
He sang...
It begins with a C. There's a song with a big C.
Cherokee Pete.
No. No.
I don't know.
What is that song?
It's like a one-hit wonder.
No, he had a couple of big ones.
No, he didn't.
Jay Black and the Americans?
Give me the very best of Jay and the Americans. Give me the song list. Yeah, there's a lot of hits there.
Which one?
First of all, the very best of Jay and the Americans has 7 songs. So
they couldn't scrape up 8 or 9.
Nothing against Jay and the Americans, but if you put out the very best of Jay and the Americans, you better hope that you have more than 7 songs.
How do you wait?
7 only in America. This magic moment.
I know
that one.
A bit closer. That one.
Yeah, that's like a TV
Ultra
commercial.
Bright.
That's a big hit.
Toothpaste or something.
Wait, that was actually his
That's
song?
his song, yeah.
Wait, give me a taste of
That's
that.
Arid Extra Dry.
You can't. We got all sorts of issues today.
Okay.
I met the guy who wrote By Menon.
Oh, no, really.
I did.
And
Seriously.
Is the whole song just by Menon, or is there more to it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
and he makes a fortune on
3 notes.
By Menon.
He actually wrote it as B.I.
That's right. No, I asked him about it. He said that the Menon gave him a shot at it. They said, "Well, give us some." So he gave him like 20 things. By Menon and by Menon. Like, by Menon.
It was every combination of 3 notes.
Yeah. And they picked number 15 or whatever, and it bought him. He has a house and all kinds of stuff from it.
Wow.
We also got to say hi to Jim Jefferies, who played Caroline's last night here in New York.
Hello.
How'd it go, Jim?
It was all right. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, people laughed. That's the job, isn't it? That's all you can ever ask for.
Yeah.
I love it how you drop the C-bomb. What is it, dropping all these swear words? Is this an American term now to say you drop the F-bomb?
Well,
the bomb.
I hate because I hate so much saying, he said the C word. I hate the C word. And that's what one of us curses.
Yeah.
So, man, you dropped an F-bomb, like just, in the wrong time.
We're very militaristic, country, and we love dropping bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
So even curses can be dropped like a bomb and hopefully injure people.
Let me get this correct. Is Louis C.K. so big now that he has people standing behind him at a gig? Is this what we're talking about?
Yes.
Is that what happens? Like, is that what you mean when you're in the round?
No,
like,
in the round means that, that there's seats all around you and the stage rotates. I've never done it before.
Retards thought of this. Like, what is that a good That's a stupid idea, right?
I'm not sure
comedy.
which retard thought of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was a retard.
I don't think they really had comics in mind when they did that. It was like for a band.
Oh, so it's a big place. It's not like an 80-seater. Right?
No!
Oh, God, that would be funny.
Intimate club in the round.
You're standing on a sit and spin.
Yeah,
as
it's just like one of those things they put mannequins on.
a
and
busboy spins you around.
Yeah, like a Disney exhibit.
Like
Standing on a 78th.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of a Chinese restaurant so you can get to the food.
Yeah. No, that place was pretty much made for bands, and they would set up so you could see everybody in the band. But, yeah, comics, it's a little weird.
I don't
it
like
works,
the
but
idea of it.
I was at the movies the other night, and I see a trailer come on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and I just had to burst out. It's Louie!
Yeah. Yes.
You were huge!
I'm in a trailer. I'm like 18 feet tall.
You were huge on the screen. I'm just like,
What, a
it's
movie?
Louie!
You know what's great is that my dad and my mother both had the same experience because they didn't even know I was. That's how little I could call them. That's how bad a son I am. My dad was like, he's just going to see a movie, and he sees his son making a goofy stop the music for the joke.
Right, yes. You
Like-
did. I know. I noticed that too.
The music's like, darn it, and then my joke, and then that's really
He's that guy in the trailer.
really cheesy.
One movie.
It's a movie with Martin Lawrence. It's called Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Right.
And he plays it's coming out in February, I guess, and he plays this. I got this call from my agent once during last year during the summer saying they want you to audition for this Martin Lawrence movie, and I said no, I don't. I don't audition for stuff because I never get it.
Right.
I stink.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. And so they because it's not just you don't just. You got to go park in some place and get a validation and walk in the hot sun across it.
There's a lot more than just standing there and auditioning.
Yeah, and then you get in there and they're like, "We're so glad you're here. We're fans of your stand-up." And then you open your mouth and they go, "What? Why did you come here? You're awful." So it's an awful thing to go through.
Terrible.
So I don't do it anymore. So then one day they go, "This Martin Lawrence movie really wants to see you." So I said, all right, make an appointment. And they made the appointment. And then I remember it was like 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. And so it got to be 2:30. And I'm like, I'm not going. I didn't go. And
Jesus Christ.
so they
How did you get so popular?
You're a go-getter, Lou.
Yeah, so they call me and they go, they're offended because they actually really made a space for you. All right, make another appointment. So they made another appointment on the day I was leaving, and I just, again, I got on the flight, and I remember being on the flight going, oh, boo, I forgot. And then I get to New York, and there's a script of the movie waiting for me in my apartment, and with the notes, please put yourself on tape.
There should have just been an FU note.
Yeah,
Just
but they want me to
go
get.
screw.
I'm certainly not going to go get a video camera, set it up, make my wife talk like Martin Lawrence so I can audition for this movie and then send it. So
Yeah.
I said yes, I'll put myself on tape, and I never did. And then 2 weeks later, my agent called and said they're giving you the part.
Wow, that is a great strategy.
Yes, it is.
It's like, I don't care if I get it. I'm not going to audition.
Yeah.
You were so relaxed. 'cause
Yeah.
you
They're
didn't
giving
care.
you the reason I think, and because I've cast movies and TV shows, when you go on tape, when you audition for something, you close the book on yourself. They go, okay, because every audition kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how good somebody is, when you audition, it's disappointing. Like even if it's like, oh, let's get Robert De Niro, and then if he auditioned, which he doesn't, obviously, you go, it wasn't what I saw. But
Could
when
you
there's
be
somebody,
more De Niro?
yeah, exactly. But when somebody's out there and they won't audition, you're like, but he might be the guy. He might be the guy. And so they didn't find anybody.
You'd rather
good.
have the element of doubt working for you.
Oh, hey, buddy.
than-
That's the first movie I ever got, and I got it that way. And I've done 2 more movies that I got without auditioning.
Love it.
Same way.
Bravo.
Same
Well,
way.
you know, whatever works for you, man.
But
That,
the line in the stupid thing is he's a TV show host, and I go, "You're the new Oprah. You're the male Oprah. You're Ope Bro." It's
yes.
awful joke.
Yes.
Did you
And
deliver?
I'd love to lay it on the movie, but I made it up. It was an ad
You're
lib.
Ope, bro.
Yeah.
When I saw your huge face on the screen, I wanted to yell out, "I know this guy!" until the joke.
Yeah, exactly. And then, who's that guy?
What an idiot! I was like, Louie, you want to sit over here near me?
You're
Hey.
Ope, bro.
We
Jimmy's still repeating the line.
I don't actually get it.
I don't actually
get it.
instead of
Oprah, is
He's-
that like...
He's the male
Oh,
Oprah.
yeah, that's like a bra.
Bro, which is like a black gentlemen refer
Yo,
to each
my-
other.
but
my
the
bro.
word,
Yeah,
the
a
word
long time
bra
ago.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
a feminine black word, does it? Is
No,
that-
but it's just the
that joke sucks.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't need the feminine side to then have.
Why don't we listen? Why don't we listen to the joke?
All right.
Okay.
Showtime.
Yeah.
America's
the music.
favorite talk show host is married television sweetheart. You're the male Oprah. Bro. But before
There it is.
The worst part is
No,
that
I'm wrong. That's an excellent
I know
joke.
it's really good. The worst part is that the guy, the director, kept telling me to laugh at the joke.
That's you laughing?
He goes,
Okay.
you got it. You have to really. You're being funny and you're making a joke. Everything I do in the movie where I'm saying anything that's funny, which is never, he says you have to laugh really hard because you're being funny.
Did you have to wear the
I'm
whole?
laughing. I'm LOLing
Who directed
all
this?
of my jokes.
Who directed
I'm
this?
one of those jackasses that writes a joke and then says LOL to himself.
Yeah. Did you have to wear the Bluetooth through
director-
the whole movie?
Yes, I did. I'm wearing a Bluetooth.
I see that. I see it
really-
still.
There he is.
You meant to be like a manager type of guy or something.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Let me hear it again.
you're the male Oprah. Bro. But before they start their new family, he's taking her back home to meet his.
That's it.
That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
laugh, though.
It was it was a funny.
Who's
joke.
the director?
It
He
was
sounds
easy
like he
to
only
laugh
knows
at.
comedy.
Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's cousin.
Cool, because he's right, though. That is the way to do it. Is you should always laugh after you say something funny.
Yes, always.
Good thing Spike didn't think that way.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, he would have said, go, "Hurr," after you say anything tough. You've been hoodwinked.
Hoodwink.
Let's go to Jared in Boston. Jared, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, Jared?
Oh, give him the Jimmy Boo.
Not the Jimmy Boo.
My chick does that to me when I tell a bad joke in the relationship. We'll actually be laying around. I'll say something awful, and if it's really bad, she'll go, "Thanks, Uncle Jim," or she'll just go, or she'll just go, "Boo." She boos me in our personal life.
Hey, we got a taser story.
Reminding her that you're permanently older than her, that's got to be more hurtful, though.
No, please. It
That she'll
fills
never
me
catch up to you.
How young is your bird? How young is she?
Well, she is. I'm 39, and she's 29.
Yeah, that's all
Or
right.
she will be actually.
That's all right.
She will be in 10
Well,
years.
yeah.
Hey, I want to get to this story. It's a taser story. We love these.
Oh.
And in this case, the guy was tased to death.
Wow, it killed him?
This isn't going to help our taser pajama party. We're trying
No.
to get together.
Trying to get like a lingerie party with girls, obviously.
Yeah.
Come in with girls to come in here, and then we want to tase them.
As they're wearing little tiny little
And they'll be wearing
outfits.
like the sexiest things, little boy shorts and stuff. And we just want to like hit them with stun guns.
Little teddies.
Yeah.
There's a few videos online. We can't play them today. We're shut down today. The master computer shut down.
Are you seriously going to do that?
Yeah, we really want to do this.
Oh, my God.
Is that
Well, this-
legal? Are you allowed
we
to
don't-
pay
we don't
for
care.
it?
Trying to-
Do they have to
Yeah.
sign away the
We might not even.
Yeah, they would sign away their rights to live.
Just go to Antigua. Film it in Antigua.
Yeah,
You'll
we
be
just go
fine.
to another country and
We're probably not even going to broadcast it. We're just going to do it somewhere.
If you get tased, does a burn mark appear on your body, or is that just,
that's only if you really like
Find out.
leave it and bam, you know.
So-
If you just tap them, boof,
It's
they'll
only
just
fair.
fall down and scream
I've been thinking
and
a lot
writhe
about
around
that.
in their
Glory
little
hole.
panties.
Louis, there's videos out there. Go to YouTube. There's a girl singing "Sweet Home Alabama" in tiny little boy shorts and a little tank top, and she gets tased.
So
Oh, you
you
got it.
So it is something that is happening out
So
there.
you nicked this idea.
Yeah, we want.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
we,
No, good
stole
for
it.
you. It's a good idea.
well, that was like a 10-second video. We want a whole party, man. You know, with all sorts of pajama party games.
pretty
and,
good.
And we're gonna tase the girl.
I was thinking about
You should play
that,
Twister while you're tasing.
and by the way,
Of
by the way, we had plenty of girls calling as soon as we brought up this.
of course you did.
This idea. All
course
right,
you did.
here we go. Crazy Polish guy in Canadian airport gets tasered to death.
Oh, awesome.
This one died.
The video begins with a man who appears agitated. By now, 40-year-old Robert Zikansky has been in a secure area of Vancouver International for almost 10 hours. Passengers are trying to talk to him in English, but he doesn't seem to understand. With the woman on this side of a glass wall and he on the other, Zikansky can be seen picking up a computer and throwing it. In fact, he threw the computer and a chair in front of 2 YVR security guards, who make no attempt to restrain him. The RCMP won't arrive for another 1 minute 45 seconds.
Security guards didn't try to restrain him?
No, they let it get.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
I guess.
Then the Royal Canadian Police
Here's the
here's
the clip of the hot girl singing "Sweet Home Alabama," just in case you didn't believe me.
Where?
Where should you face it? Face it. Face it.
See, that's what we want to do right there.
God.
Do we have Happy Birthday too? Yeah, these are really quick. Here's Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, good, idiot.
Is that great?
Can't you visualize it? This studio filled with hot girls in pajamas.
Visualize it, yeah.
Of course, you want to be here, right?
I'm gonna be here.
And because the holiday's right around the corner, we got this.
Touch
one.
myself to it tonight before it even happens.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh my God!
All right, here's more.
Hold on, Lou, do you think Fred Claus looks funny?
Oh, does it look fun? I mean, it's not even mine to say. It's an absolute that looks funny.
A hoot.
I've never seen so much advertising for one film in my entire
Oh my
life.
God, it's embarrassing.
And it doesn't look good.
Well, that's why all the advertising.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, they don't do that over where you're from.
No.
Over here, if you
They
see
don't
a commercial for a
advertise it.
movie over and over again, it means it blows.
When I see Vince Vaughn on that big wheel in the print ad,
It's crazy.
it just cracks me up. It's like, why would a big guy like Vince Vaughn be on a big wheel?
I know that must
being
be
chased and stuff, and I laugh every time I see it.
Oh,
He's
because
too big for that.
He's
bike.
Of course
big
he
for that.
is.
Totally too big for it.
Oh, it's just silly.
It's just so silly. Why would a big fella do that?
I know.
And then my mind runs through all the other little things that he can be on as
Yes.
a big fella.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see what things they chose to put in there. So I'm going to go.
You can go to the tape whatever you want, man. You're old, bro.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, bro. Yuck. Here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
You gotta laugh.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You're old, bro.
Yeah, he's in a movie and we're doing a dumb radio show.
I know.
Yeah, we're idiots.
Yeah, I got $100,000 for a week's work. So.
Really?
So,
For that joke.
For that show.
So
It
make
cost
us,
me 200.
Tell me you do other jokes just as
What?
good. There's like 4
No,
or 5.
that's the best one.
That's the best one.
That's the best one.
100 grand.
he's going to have the
Yep.
very best of Louis C.K. He's going to have 7
right.
jokes. That's one of them.
That's right. That's right. That's going to be number one.
Meeting Jay
That's
Black.
good. I can tell my friends that I know the guy who says the Oprah joke.
That's right.
I'm going to be like the king back in England.
That's right.
When that
that's
movie
what
gets
I'm gonna,
released on DVD.
That's what I'm going to be to black people after that movie comes back. It's Oprah guy.
Hey, Oprah guy.
Yeah.
All right, here's more
That's gonna be on my posters when I go on tour. Oprah, Louis C.K.
Here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
Despite 2 clear warnings that he does not speak English, the RCMP speak to Zikansky in English for about 29 seconds before they taser him. At one point just before this, Zikansky can be seen putting his hands up and walking away, seemingly in frustration. You can hear someone yell, "Hit him again, hit him again."
Harder, harder,
Hit the Pollock, hit the Pollock.
harder, harder.
Hit the Pollock, hit the Pollock.
I thought that was going to be funny. It really was just a man dying.
Yeah. There's really no humor there.
Well, he didn't die like Jerry Lewis or something.
No, don't. The thing with the power.
And he clearly said
Polish.
twice he doesn't speak English. How exactly would he do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just heard a guy die.
Dude, I don't speak English.
Yeah, stop.
Here's the last.
Don't
of the
tase
story.
me, bro.
Don't taste me, bro.
I love that.
Two
Don't
more
tase me,
join in,
bro.
One officer appearing to place his knee on the victim's neck, and it appears to remain there even after Zikansky stops breathing.
Oh boy.
About here, Zakansky seems to stop breathing, and the officer with his back to the camera still has his right knee on the victim's neck.
I heard him say code red.
On the right of your screen, someone in a suit appears to check for a pulse. An autopsy would later reveal Zakansky had no drugs or alcohol in his body at the time of death.
Damn.
But he had a lot of volts of electricity.
It was glowing.
Might have had something to do with it.
It seemed like the knee to the neck might have caused some complications there.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has kept me from doing anything where I would be arrested in that fashion.
Yeah.
Like if I ever get arrested, I will be a very cooperative gentleman. I'll put my hands behind my back, whatever it takes. But the resisting thing, that knee to the neck.
There's a whole bunch of standard procedures that can kill you.
Yeah, exactly. And they're fine with it. Like,
totally.
you will just be dead, and they'll go on working.
Yep.
Oh, the cops love killing people.
Yeah, well, it's we have a case here in New York.
Sweeping statement, I know.
Case here in New York where a guy was shot 20 times. He came out of his house. A 911 call came in. Mother said that her son is acting all weird and violent. Could you send the police? And in the background, the son, all you hear him saying is, "I got a gun. I got a gun. Come on, bring it." So that's what the 911 operator then conveyed to the police.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that when you call 911, it doesn't go to the cop car as he's answering. The cop just hears, we have a call, violent man with a weapon.
Yeah. It's a very dangerous version of telephone.
Right. So they go there. Now a second 911 call comes in. And apparently this one, which just turned up today, the mother again calls and somehow says, kind of vaguely, that her son doesn't have a gun. But the son keeps saying he's got a gun.
How do you vaguely say you don't have a gun?
Yeah.
Because she was kind of like...
my son doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, he doesn't have a gun. Well, the 911 operator asked, is he armed? Does he have a gun? And she went, he said something. It wasn't like, no, he does not have a gun. Don't shoot him.
It was a bit vague.
Yeah, it was a little vague. Yeah. And that message doesn't get to the cops. They're already, they're flying. They could be there already.
Yeah, it's yes or no.
Right.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the window finally, and the cops tell him to stop. He grabs into his pants and under his shirt and pulls something out. They open fire on him. It turns out to be a brush.
Yeah.
It's a brush.
He wanted to look good.
I agree with the cops on that. I reckon kill the...
Yeah. The cops were well within their right. They felt... The cop doesn't... There doesn't have to be a gun. They just have to feel that their life is being threatened to use deadly force.
And if he was pulling a brush out, he was just being cheeky, wasn't he? At that moment, he didn't want to...
Cheeky. That's one word
he was
for
just being a bit cheeky there.
Yes, he was. I think you're right.
And implying that he had a gun. So kill the bastard.
But I heard Earl on Ron and Fez yesterday commenting on this, and of course Earl was all against the police on this one, saying they shot at him even after he dropped the brush. I said, and all I could think of, I wanted to call him, but all I could think of is the cops going, he dropped a brush, which means he's still got a gun. And just opened up on him.
He reached into his pants and pulled out a black hand. So he needed to be shot.
Pretty much. Some people are saying that.
They look like their hands look like guns.
Yeah, it's... Oh my God.
We really got to take a break.
Yeah, we got
really late. We got Jim Jefferies in studio, Louis C.K. Jim Jefferies, Caroline's tonight again.
Caroline's tonight at 10 p.m.
And Louis C.K. out there on Long Island.
North Fork Bank Center, place where I can talk and you listen.
When?
Westbury.
Money. Saturday night, 17th.
All right, we'll be back. Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Jim Jefferies giving us good stuff during the breaks.
Funny in the breaks. Rubbish not there.
No,
awesome in the break.
No, we're going to go right back to that in a second, but I got to play tomorrow's sound so people are into the game for tomorrow, okay? This is what you're listening for between 7 and 7:30 if you want to win $1,000 tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
Don't ask. But that's what that's what the listeners need to listen for tomorrow between 7 and 7:30 if you want to win $1,000. That sound and all the sound clips are up on onaradio.com, so you know what you're listening for.
Whoever wins should spend that $1,000 to have that man killed.
He could not take direction.
No.
He could absolutely not take direction. We're trying to tell him, punch it up a little bit, have some energy. You do a little cartoony voice, but make it loud. Okay, it was the same blah, blah, blah delivery.
And laugh at it after you say
Yeah,
it.
laugh at it, yeah.
Just some, yeah.
Finish the word with the word bro.
You got to make it clear that a joke happened.
So
If you don't laugh, how's the audience going to know you're trying to be funny? They might actually think that you think his name is Oprah.
Right.
You better laugh.
You better laugh.
Yeah.
Jim was talking about how the Brits are not nice people.
Well,
and we were just getting into it as we got back into the
I was
show
just
here.
saying, every time I see like American stand-up, they're always like, I went over to England, and English people are so polite. They do this, right? You people are the politest people in the world. Right? I'm getting people every day telling me to have a nice day, and I'm such a moody bastard. I'm looking at them going, I'll see about that. Don't you tell me what I should do with my day, you pompous American. Right? But the Brits are the rudest. Like, if you people think they're all polite and tit-bit tally-ho and walking around with bowler hats and like going, excuse me, and all that type of stuff, I can't say exactly what they say, but go to a football match and have your son's head kicked in front of you because he didn't know what the offside rule meant, right? Like, they're proper rude people.
Proper rude people.
Proper rude. And, like, no one tips or anything like that. Their beer is flat. Do you want to know why their beer is flat?
Why?
Right? Like, it comes through the taps flatter because they're cheap bastards, right? They want the beer to the top. They don't want any head on it whatsoever.
Right.
Because if there's a little bit of head on it, that means they're losing, like, 3% of the volume.
Yeah, no oxygen.
They don't like ice because that once again you don't get as
Watering
much
down
drink
the
and
pipes.
everything, and because their teeth are so rotten, they're sensitive that they can't even drink back.
Sensitive teeth.
They really
nice
do.
warm liquids.
They really do that. They scoop the ice out of the drink, and they're a horrible mongrel breed.
They stink as a nation.
They do, but I live there and I miss it very much.
Yeah.
Well, and you were talking yesterday that there's racism, but it's different. It's not the typical black white racism thing.
They used to hate the black people in the 70s, right? And they had some very racist sitcoms.
They call them, what's the word they use there?
Nignog.
Nignog.
Oh my God!
Nignog.
Is that what it's called in England?
I'm not having that nignog come around my house. You know, like, right?
Wow!
Are you serious?
Yeah, nignog.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
like,
that used to
sounds
be.
like a drink you have on
That
Kwanzaa.
sounds like a.
That used to be in sitcoms. They would say this word, and then
But that sounds like a sitcom catchphrase. I'm not having that nignog around my house.
all right. Someone Google a show called Love Thy Neighbour that the Brits had on in the 70s, and the show was basically there's a white family and a black family. They live next door. How are they going to get along?
Actually, that's
Right.
isn't that where All in the Family came from? I think.
No, that was
Till
Man
death
About
do
the
us.
House.
Till death.
Till death do us part.
So well,
Yeah.
the thing is,
Man About the House was Three's Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's
all
a man about
all
that
day
house.
in this sitcom, he would call him Sambo, Nignog, all these type of
Wow.
Jungle Bunny was another, right? Like, and you go through the whole show, and then the black guy would call him Snowflake,
Yeah.
like once, and everyone would
Yeah,
go, "Well, now it's even." Now it's okay. The black guy's had his own, everything's fine.
Well, that's
Continue
what
on
I've
with the
always
hilarity.
felt about black.
Dumped.
They had
What? Why were they dumping
Why are they dumping?
English versions of words in this context
The
and discussion?
description of what Jim was saying has been dumped every time.
Are
you serious?
Hysterical.
Well, I'm sorry.
You mean your fault? It's not
That's
your fault.
hysterical.
Not
I
your
was-
fault.
I
There's
was
no
speaking-
racism in England. Then
I was speaking
that's
in
what we're.
context.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh,
Yeah, it
be
was
careful with that
completely
word too.
It was completely in context,
Yeah.
and it's just
These aren't my thoughts, people.
it's
My
describing
dad, on the other hand, that's exactly how he thinks.
what the words are in England.
That's
Like no one
amazing.
would.
Wow.
It's
well,
funny
folks,
that's a bad word in England because it sounds so harmless.
Yes, it does.
It sounds silly.
Wow, that just stopped a hilarious
That's amazing.
God.
segment of the Opie and Anthony show. You were on a roll too, my friend.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
It made Jim leave the studio. He's going to march
It'd be
down
funny
the
if
hall
people
and
go
talk
to
Tom.
see him now because they take our word for it, and then there's just blank spaces in his accent.
It's like, no, he was really doing the whole thing on the air, and
just
Well, okay,
Oh,
just
my
for the
God.
record, there's no racism in England.
Oh, not even at all.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
be quite certain. There's none anywhere in the world. None.
no,
it's
none.
all love.
It is.
I bet you they didn't dump Snowflake.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And by not
well, that's the
talking
thing
about
is
it-
that but the words that black people can say about white people are they can't hurt.
No.
Because like the words that people call black people bring them back to all the terrible things that have ever happened to them. That's why they hurt so much. But you call me a cracker, and it brings me back. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I owned a lot of land and people. And
where does the word cracker come from? Where does that come from?
It's something that you call somebody. It means crack of the whip. So it's like it doesn't really make it's not like you're taking a person down. Like cracker. Yeah, well, yes. A white suit, some lemonade.
Where does honky come
mint julep.
Mint julep.
What about honky? Is honky what is that one?
I don't know how honky.
It's just a dumb word.
Some people say it's because of the way that white Americans talk.
Kind of nasally, honk.
Yeah.
Okay. That would make sense.
I don't think there's one white person that has been offended by that word.
Not
a one.
My daughter cried.
When she was called a honky?
Somebody called her a honky in school. Because they were
Are you serious?
No, of course not.
I thought that's an awesome story.
That would have been a great story.
She was carrying a book and wearing sunglasses, and there was a bunch of black people calling her honky. And as the National Guard was leading her into a
yes,
right,
segregated school.
Yes, exactly.
What happened, Jimmy?
I just saw Tom in the hall. He's like, I talked to him. I don't think it should have been done. I don't think that was Tom.
Oh well,
Yeah.
F and A.
Am I in trouble now?
No, you're not.
No.
The guy is look. I know he's
Bloody
trying
honky.
The guy turned.
You
into
have to leave the country, though.
You know how frustrating that is? That was probably the funniest segment of the entire show, and a lot of people didn't get to hear it because we got a panicky Pete on the button.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried, but the racial
Line
stuff,
of the
dude,
day will
relax
be
the racial
silence.
So
stuff.
can we say the word?
I would hope so. Yeah.
So, Tom said it's okay.
He just said it shouldn't be. He said I talked to him. I'm like, Tom, the guy wrecked this
didn't
segment.
talk
I know
to
he's trying to do his job, but he wrecked this segment.
Yeah.
Jim.
I mean, it happens.
Jim Jefferies, don't overdo it, but maybe you could. You could go back there.
Nignog's still a bad word. Is that one going?
Well, that's what
English people call black people.
Nignog. It's not even an American word.
No.
I'm not saying I agree with
those awful racist people.
Yes.
I really wish they wouldn't use this word.
My point is, they used to in the 70s. They used to have a problem with black people, and then in the 80s, it became they had problems with the Indians and the Pakistanis was the big problem that they had, and they united about that. And then it was like after September the 11th, they had problems with Arab people, and now since the EU has opened up, they hate the Polish people because the Polish people will do a kitchen for you for half the price, and the British are the laziest workers in the world, and everything's overcharged. I had some renovations done in my house. Of course I got Polish people in. I wouldn't make an English person make me anything. They couldn't build anything. They're drinking like 10 cups of tea a day, the lazy pricks. They really are. Like the average English person they work out drinks 4 cups of tea a day. Right now I live there. I'm part of their population. I don't drink any, so that means some bastard's having 8. Right? A day, every day.
Yeah.
It stopped us in our tracks here, though. So this sitcom, let's get back to that because that's interesting. The sitcom was called what?
Love Thy Neighbour.
Love Thy Neighbour.
And it still airs on Australian TV because don't even get me started on Australian racism.
So that's another. They're in 70s racist.
But it's funny to hear racism from other countries. Like,
that's why this is interesting.
Yeah.
They're like, we call them kangaroo lovers. It's like, why? There's nothing here. But somebody's being bothered by it. But
So
here.
and this sitcom was a black family
next door to
a white family and how they're going to get along.
It's called Love Thy. They had another one called Mind Your English, which was like a guy who was an English teacher who taught English to foreigners, and there was every different type of nationality, and there was some great stereotypes in that sitcom.
Oh, that must be it right there.
If you're an Indian bloke, your head had to wobble in that sitcom. There was no other option. You know what I mean? It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
See, there's
That's Love Thy Neighbor, probably.
There's Love Thy Neighbor there.
and the Jeffersons living next door to each other because
I think that
Wheezy always got along with Edith.
Yeah.
2 shows you really can't make nowadays.
No,
some of the greatest sitcoms ever.
What about Charles in Charge? Good luck getting that one through.
Yeah,
I know.
We're going through the subject matter they touched on.
Eggert or whatever. What's her name?
Nicole Eggert.
Nicole Eggert. She was a good thing, wasn't she? What's happened to her? Is she still kicking about?
Nah, she kind of
got old.
Yeah, she screwed herself up. She got like implants and
I don't remember who she was.
You got those like soft.
She was like the 16-year-old on Charles in Charge, and then she became a Baywatch babe. But I liked her more when she was on Charles.
Charles in Charge,
because I was the same age as her or something, and I thought she was a bit special.
See, you understand where I come from because we always talk about who was hot when you were growing up watching television, and these guys are like they're picking like women. like Wonder Woman and this. And I was like, no, I was always into chicks that were my age on television.
I had a thing for Punky Brewster when I was 8 as well.
Right.
I'm serious. I used to think,
In that age,
she's a good thing.
You're like,
but I
Punky.
was 8 and she was 8.
You say, I'd like to go and hold hands with her.
I was.
The little innocent thing. I want to hold hands with Punky Brewster.
But Solange Moon,
I was 20 at the time.
She grew up to be a good sort as well.
Oh yeah, now you want to hold her globes.
I picked her right. I picked her at 8 that she was going to be a hottie at 20, and Solange Moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good sort.
Paid off.
Big titties on Solange Moon.
Well, that one.
What are we going to dump the word?
Can you believe they don't even like that word?
That one.
Even that sweet little word.
Yeah, look, we're all in agreement that one's going to be dumped.
When you go back to
that one is,
when you go back to some civilized nation, tell them the story of how we are just
How afraid of words we are.
how afraid of words Americans are.
Yeah, words hurt.
I wasn't being hateful.
No,
But even if
course
you were, it should be allowed. It should be. It's not illegal to be hateful, even though you aren't being hateful.
Yeah.
We're the only country to drop a bomb. Can we lighten up?
Yeah, come on. We dropped 2 atom bombs.
That was a lot of guilt.
What's wrong with
a lot of guilt there, Jim?
a funny word for boobies?
I know, and they were wonderful bombs.
But
so you can say
the,
boobies.
The whole thing with the
Yeah.
You could say boobies.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's silly sounding.
well, to me, the
about
thing
booby
also
wives?
that's so fake about stuff like N-word
Yeah.
is because nobody has a problem saying that.
No, they use it all the
N-word,
time now.
But it's exactly like saying the word. It's just white people getting away with saying that word. Because if you say N-word, you're putting that other word that I can't say on the radio in people's heads.
You know it, and you say it in your head.
So the person says, somebody on CNN says N-word, and then I go, oh, she means,
Yeah.
So she's making me say it.
But you
They don't want it. You just say it.
watch where this is going to go, though. That word will be banned from radio
After
shows.
a while, you're not going to be able
And
to
then-
say N-word.
And then TV shows are not going to say that either.
Yep.
They're going to have to come up with something else, and then that will be banned. And
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so on and
Is
so on
the
and so
N-word
on.
not banned? I thought it was banned.
It shouldn't be. No, people want it to
It
be
is,
banned.
but after a while, you're not going to be able to say literally. Well, but it is
Are we
funny. Like when you watch,
thinking of the same N-word.
Well, like what's
Yeah.
his name? Mark Cohen. Remember him, comedian? He told me he was watching Blazing Saddles on TV, and they cut out the fart scene.
Oh yeah.
And they cut out every bad word.
Yep.
Down like even ass.
It's the whole movie.
And but the N word flying out of people's mouths.
really?
Yeah. I mean, it's all over
Yeah,
Blazing Saddles. But it's like if the idea is not to offend people, you took out the farts and you left in the N word.
Yeah.
Doesn't
make too much sense.
No.
Hey, getting back to the Brits, we got a great story about a British guy. Listen to this.
38-year-old David Russell. The court heard he almost killed himself because he needed the money. He used a gun like this to shoot 7 nails into his chest and forearm. Then he told police he was a victim of street crime and tried to claim thousands of pounds in compensation.
They just swung me around, pushed this thing into my chest.
In hospital at the time, he told the BBC he'd been assaulted near his home in Gloucester by 3 young black men.
Oops.
No, but he didn't call them that.
No, I'm sure.
They were very young black men.
They were young nignogs and they had carpentry tools.
Rudimentary carpentry.
I don't know why.
At hospital.
At hospital while on holiday.
Having a cup of tea and driving nails into my chest.
The thing is, do you have that over here? Like he's wanting compensation off the government, not off the people. Like if
Why?
you get,
Right.
Do you have that over here where you can just get money off
You
the government
can't-
if you get hurt?
If something
can't
bad
really
happens
sue
to
the
you,
government.
no, in England, if something bad happens to you, they give you a few bucks.
Yeah.
I got $2
Yeah.
grand because I got my head fractured in a comedy club. Walking out, a guy came up behind me and smashed my head into a table. Didn't like the set. I had a good show that day as well. And he smashed my, and I
You got paid more than the gig paid.
Yeah, I just rang up the government and said I got a fractured skull. And they go, what happened? I went, someone bashed my head into a table.
They went,
and then
"Oh."
they went, and they sent me $2 grand.
What
is
that about? How is the
Great
British
system.
pound worth anything? They're dopes.
It's worth twice the dollar.
I also had a house break-in. This is a true story, right? Me and another comic called Steve Hughes were sitting at home, and I kid you not, this is what happened. 2 guys came through the window, one with a hammer, one with a machete. If you look at the side of my head, I got like a scar there.
Yeah.
They cut my head, right? They tied us up and all that type of stuff. Then they drove off out of my house, and they got caught speeding in my car before we had ever made the call or whatever, right? They're now serving 12 years in prison for grievous bodily harm, aggravated burglary, attempted rape, and possession of...
Wait. You can't gloss over that. You can't just have that as part of your
I forgot
list.
to mention my girlfriend was in the house. And if I can't say the N-word on radio, I thought I couldn't get away with getting into graphic detail about
Then
that.
listen to us. It's like, oh, it's your girlfriend. All right, that's not interesting. That's not interesting. We thought you got raped.
His roommate or something.
Why attempted? Was he nervous or what? How?
No, because they left before and they held the knife to her throat, and the cops just want to put it. They also got him for possession of drugs, right? Which was brilliant because they were my drugs, right?
They stole your drugs.
They stole like a little bag of weed and a gram of coke that my flatmate had, right? And the cops are questioning us, and they go, "Mr. Jefferies, one last thing. Do you know anything about those drugs?"
Oh yeah,
in the
you're going to
house?"
admit to that in a
And
second.
I went, "No, I don't know anything about them." And the cop goes, "Funny, your fingerprints were all over them." And I went, "They made me touch it."
That's the attempted rape.
That's probably how they got caught. They're like,
"What's that?" Sorry?
He knew, but he just let it go.
Yeah. The cops were laughing about it afterwards, right? And these two blokes got 12 years, man. That's a long sentence. And the thing is, when they broke into our house, they thought we were drug dealers. Me and me other mate, the other guy. They thought we were drug dealers because, well, I have the lifestyle of a drug dealer. I never seem to go to work. I drive a nice car. If someone knocks on the door at 3 in the afternoon, I'll answer in my underwear, eating a bowl of cereal.
That's drug
you know what I mean? That's drug dealer behaviour, right?
Or comedian. One of the other,
comedian. And they just assume, and they came in. And when they were tying me up, I thought they were going to tie everyone else up in the house, right? So I acted like they were doing it a bit tight on my wrist so that when everyone else was tied up, I could break free and do some of my ninja moves, right? But that turned out they only tied me up and kept me hostage.
You know, when they got pulled over, that's probably how they got caught, was the drugs, because they got pulled over and it's just speeding. It's just, okay, and then we're going to search the car. Oh, there's drugs here. Those aren't mine. Whose are they? They belong to the guy who I just tied up and tried to rape his girlfriend. Oops.
Yeah, they went for a big high-speed chase. There's at one stage during the break. I can speak about this now. The court case over. Right. One stage during the case. Right. I'm on the ground tied up, and my head's been cut, and my other flatmate's laying on the ground. My girlfriend's laying under the duvet in the bed. The nicer one out of the two blokes, right, good guy, right, he walks over to, like, the chest of drawers, and I've got, like, pictures of my nephews and nieces, and he picks up one of the pictures, he goes, "Either you guys got kids," right, and my best mate, he doesn't have a kid, goes, "5-year-old boy," and I thought, I'm laying on the ground bleeding, they're going to kill me now, I'm the one they're going to kill.
Yeah, because he's got kids.
No, it's my kid.
Lying.
Yeah, so I went, 4-year-old girl, and then we tried to trump each other, right? And I swear to God,
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, my mate goes, "My one's retarded."
No way.
I kid you not.
And the guys with the machete going,
Why'd he cut your head? How did that happen?
What happened was, I've also got a scar on top of my finger. And there was one guy who was really sadistic with a machete. It was like a sugar cane cutting one, like a big curved sort of 2 foot 2 inch thing. And they tied me up head to feet. And then my mate sort of made a bit of a sort of a lunge at him, trying to fucking trying to fix. My mate made a bit of a lunge at him, trying to fix all the problem and all that type of stuff. So the guy said, "Don't do that again," and sliced the side of my head, right? And then blood was pumping out of my head just into like a puddle in front of me, and I'm tied up. And you think you'd be really nervous, but under that much pressure, the human brain just leaves. Like literally, my head was just going, da, 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 right? I was like, nothing had happened at all. My girlfriend's crying under the thing, and then he tied me up with the power cord from my girlfriend's hair straighteners. And then when they cut me free, she didn't cry when they said they were going to rape her, right? But when she saw that power cord was cut, she was upset. She was like, "You can only get this brand in America." I had to order away for these. I swear to God, this story is true. I'm not making this up.
So how they said they were going to rape her and they just left?
They were doing it more to taunt us why they were in the house. I don't think they ever really were, but the cops just wanted to slap as much on them.
Wow, good. They got a machete. Good.
So you need guns in. You need guns in your house.
Yeah.
Ant's a big fan of them.
The thing is, the first thing I knew, I'm sitting in my living room chair, and then the guy comes through the window on the second story. And
no alarm?
No, well, the second story was open. We were in the house.
No alarm?
Yeah, but you don't have an alarm on while you're walking through your house.
Of course you do.
Oh, well, I didn't.
No guns?
Right, no guns.
Everywhere?
No. So the guy put the machete. I was just sitting around in my underwear. He's there with the knife to me throat going, get me your car keys, get me your car keys. And I'm like, look, man, every morning it takes me a little while to find them. Like, you know, I mean, there's a machete to my throat. Let me rummage for a moment.
Yeah, my grandparents lived in Mexico City, the dirty country that I'm from, and my grandfather, when he was like 94, he was pretty much totally deaf, and he had this big backed chair that he sat in that had its back to the front door of their house. And one day, these guys, banditos broke into the house with guns, and my grandmother, who was just the toughest woman, she just screamed, "Don't move!" at the guys with guns. And like she said, my husband, she tried to look calm and said, "My husband is deaf and he's 95. If he sees you, he's going to have a heart attack and die. And this is going to be murder. Stay where you are and I'll get you whatever you're asking for." Like, she made the guy stay behind him.
Like it's trick or treat.
Yes, exactly.
Wait here at the door, I'll go
Wait
get
at the door,
you.
I'll get whatever you need, but do not let him see you because he'll die. And then you're going to be murderers. And these guys were just confused and they said, okay. And so they're like, well, let's see some jewelry. So she went up and chose some crap and brought it down to them and stuff. And my uncle was there too. And so they said, we want his car. They had guns. They're like, we're going to kill you. Yeah, but stay behind him, please. Oh, okay, we will. And they gave him, they got him jewelry, and my uncle, they wanted a car, so my uncle gave him the keys to his car, and they went outside and couldn't start it, so he had to come out and help them. He had to jump start their car.
Oh, God, what, Mexicans?
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yes.
We really have to take another break.
Yeah.
We're real late. Jim Jefferies, the English bloke.
Yes.
Australian
expat.
Oh, Australian.
Yeah,
we don't know here in America.
I'm not a nice
Sounds
guy.
kind of.
Let's call me English.
He's at Caroline's tonight and Sunday.
Yes.
212-757-4100, and of course the great Louis C.K. Saturday night at the old Westbury Music Fair, which is now called the North Fork something. I think Ticketmaster.com.
Yes, Westbury. And
how about we give away some
Island.
tickets to your show right
yeah,
now?
let's give away.
We'll give some tickets away to 3 random callers right now. 877-212-ONA.
Oh, sorry. Louis was asking me before where I'm going to be January 18th and 19th.
That's right.
Lou,
I was wondering about those dates.
Borgata tickets are on sale now. It'll probably be sold out by the middle of next week. So www.theborgata.com.
All right, Opie and Anthony. CK in studio, playing Long Island somewhere in the round.
Westbury,
that's all we got out of them today.
The Westbury Music Fair.
Westbury, North Fork, something, Saturday the 17th.
I think it's just the North Fork Theater.
My tour continues. I was only going to go until November, but there's a writer's strike. I got no job. No, I'm going to be on tour MySpace.com.
Hey, what do you think of that writer's strike, by the way?
It's great. No, it's not. I mean,
fantastic.
Yeah, no, the thing.
Loving it.
I mean, it's we should be on strike, but people that are into it are losing the point. Like,
really?
When the president of this guild announced we're striking, a bunch of people cheered. Which a strike is never a good thing. It's always bad. But people that are unemployed love strikes because then they get to do something instead of staying home.
Oh, so there's some writers that weren't writing anyway.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, something to do.
Hey.
And I can also schmooze with actually working writers on the picket
They're
line.
networking.
But here's the thing. To me, well, you don't want to hear about the strike, do you? It's so boring.
Well, you're just trying to make it interesting for, like, the...
here's what I would say.
For the masses out there.
People
That's all
that
I'm
are
asking,
telling you,
Louis.
like, these writers need something and it's not fair, that's not the point. It's just economics. No corporation is going to give you something because they should. They're going to give you something because you make them. So we're trying to make them give us what we think we can get because most people can't write. I mean, even when you watch a bad TV show, the writer had to be really good just to accomplish that awful TV show. So it's something that not everybody can do. So we're using that leverage to try to get more money, which because we haven't had a raise in a while in certain areas. So, but people that get too into it, when you break up with your girlfriend and start calling her a C word all over town, it's hard to get back together with her. So,
yeah,
people have to be kind of cool.
You got to be a little careful, right?
There could be some leftover animosity.
Yeah.
This is hitting the wire today. Family Feud afoot for Fox Cartoon. Listen to this. Fox is producing fresh episodes of the animated comedy Family Guy without the participation of its striking creator, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
What?
Who does pretty much all of the voices on the show. Not all, but...
And he also...
And he writes it.
If there's anybody who's like the single power behind a show, because he kept it going when it was dead.
God.
Like, that's a show that got killed, and he crusaded and made it happen. Yeah, that's crazy.
How are they going to do that?
So what, are they just fired him, or is this because of the writers' strike that he's not going to be there?
Yeah, I guess until the
They're
strike's
making
over.
yeah. The most shows when the writer because of the strike they can't make shows, but they're going to continue making Family
Wouldn't he
Guy.
own the rights to it in some way? I don't understand.
Well, no, they can. They own it.
Fox and here's the explanation. Fox and sibling studio 20th Century Fox TV had the choice of going into reruns or continuing the show without McFarlane, whose outspoken defiance of his employers have made him a cause célèbre for striking writers. After a large writers' rally outside the Fox lot on Friday, where he was one of the speakers, McFarlane said the studio could proceed without him, though he hoped it would not. And they have decided to do Family Guy without Seth.
Yeah, they're doing it because there's no way they're doing this for any reason other than that he spoke at the rally and that he was considered a great speaker, and he's a really active guild member. So they're just targeting him because they're just
these
episodes
just
showing off. They're scumbags.
They
Of course
could do
they are,
episodes
but-
that don't involve his voices, so it would just be like the daughter, the son, and the mum.
Yeah.
And the greasy deaf guy.
Well,
They'll just get what's his name that did Daffy Duck's voice.
I hate to.
He'll be fine.
Mel Brooks. No, Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc. He'll do all the voice.
Go get fake Fred or something.
Yeah.
I always hated that. Yeah, the fake Fred when it was like, "Hey, Bonnie, what do you say we go to work, Bon?"
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, that's not
What happened
Fred.
to the real Fred?
As a kid, it was horrified
Yes, me too.
when
They get rid
when
of
he
Fred
died.
Flintstone and get another one.
Oh, he died.
He died,
Not Fred.
so, that didn't stop them.
He
They
was,
just found
he
a
was
new
as
Fred
he was
for
as fat as his cartoon
Oh yeah,
character.
drinking and smoking the Winston cigarettes that Fred and Barney used to shill
Yes.
as cartoon characters.
Yes, I remember.
Hey, Winston cigarettes, Fred.
Pretty good.
Yeah, sitting back behind there. Sure is, Bon.
And the cigarettes are always the size of their whole bodies for some reason.
Yeah,
because cigarettes for
Giant
cartoon
pack.
are so tiny that it looks weird. So they had giant cigarettes or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea. That's probably why. That's a good point. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Louis is great at explaining things.
Yeah.
He really is. Like I would wonder why would they be small. And
Well,
he
if you
made a good
drew
point.
Fred Flintstone and put a cigarette in his hand, it's like a tiny little line.
Like a
Yeah,
pebble.
you'll
Little
never
white
even
line.
see it.
So somebody just said, make those bigger. How big?
How do you
this
remember
big.
that, by the way?
But sir, that's the size of his whole body.
But how do you remember that?
Make
Now
the
we're,
cigarettes bigger, idiot.
now we're looking at it on YouTube, and you're absolutely right.
The cigarettes are
It's
insanely long.
They almost look like
they're-
cigars.
Yeah, like they're villains with
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
cigarettes. Yeah, like the penguin.
Hey, and other.
We don't know how
Look at
small.
that thing. It's
We don't know how
It's
small
giant.
they were. They were cavemen. Cavemen,
thing, cavemen
weren't
were
as big
tiny.
as people are now. Through evolution, we've
That's
grown
right.
taller. Maybe
right.
in proportion, they are normal-sized cigarettes.
That's true.
And Barney was like 3'2".
That's
yeah,
right.
Jim, but that's true.
But the Winston
Who was
Company-
doing the packaging.
That's right. And R.J. Reynolds has been around that long, and they remember.
Yeah, the caveman days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah.
The other thing about the writer's strike, really fast. Ellen was supposed to do shows in New York
Yeah.
because she crossed the
Yeah,
line.
and she's
there.
not doing it now.
And now she's not. She's staying in L.A.
Oh,
Why do you
really?
think that is? Because she knows the reception. She get his.
Oh, they already said they're going to
People are
protest
so mad at her.
outside where she's doing. her
And I don't
shows.
know. I have mixed feelings about it because I think part of it is again you can't really say F the companies because you're going to need to work with them again. So they just found somebody that's it's her because she's not she has nothing to she's not we're not negotiating with her. She's not keeping our residuals back.
Is she wrong,
She just
though?
reported to work. That's all she did. Reported to a job that she wasn't on strike for.
Is she wrong to do it, or is she as a producer?
It's complicated because Jay Leno is being a hero because his show is run by writers. Her show is up against shows that don't have writers. So, like, Jay goes off the air, so does Dave. Everybody's happy, and same with Jimmy Kimmel. But the shows that she's up against, Oprah, all those other shows, they don't have writers, so they can stay on the air. And her show is writer-driven, and also because it's syndicated. But, she kind of should not be working.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because when she complains about this is what would happen to my show, yeah, well, that's what everybody's risk is. Jay Leno's whole staff is getting fired.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing their jobs because of this. It's sacrifice.
Wait, they're getting fired?
But I don't think it's as simple as that. The thing is that Ellen is not a popular person. She's kind of a rotten, smelly, awful,
She sucked when I met her.
Is she not a nice lady?
Idiot. She's. I wish we were on XM so I could describe her completely.
Of course,
but I can't.
Wait, what have you heard?
The FCC cannot, would not let her be accurately described.
This is interesting.
It would be like if a cop said who shot you and it was hard to be like, you got to take me off the air because I can't tell you.
Jimmy met her in Vegas, so this is really interesting because he got the big blow off.
She was doing something for XM, and we were out there for XM. So I was like, I'll walk up, and she was being filmed. I'm like, hey, I get my pictures with everybody. It's just what I do.
You didn't get a picture with me. I've met you twice now.
Yeah, but I'm too nervous to ask.
Okay.
So I walked up to Ellen, and I'm like, hey, I'm a comic. I'm also doing something with XM. I just wanted to get a quick picture. She's like, oh no, I can't. I'm in the middle of shooting, but she wasn't, and I wanted to spit in her face.
Yeah, she's really.
I gave her a good trashing, if that's any consolation.
Good for you.
I know people that work for her as writers, and she's dope and mean to people.
Oh, easy,
Lou,
like on the language.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a spoil sport.
She's a real ninny.
She's a right rotter, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a right rotter.
Yeah, she's
yes, most definitely.
They went to commercial, I was reading recently, and she yelled at her writers, why did you write that for me?
Yeah, she's really got gallons of.
Yeah, that had made the press last week.
Was she a good stand-up in a day?
Yes, I think she was.
She was a good stand-up. Okay,
she was fine. She was all right. I know she never made me laugh really, but because she's got that way about her.
Being a leather.
Well, no, not that one. Yeah, I don't. Who cares about that? But the fact that she has this sort of MO means that people pile it on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at her working. She shouldn't be working. And whatever, that story. You know what? I've had a show where I had writers, and often I'd look at them and say, you guys stink, and I hate you. So the stories about how tough she is on the writers, that I take with a grain of salt because
I guess this was
there's a natural, you got to crack the whip, and also there's a natural thing where the person who's on camera is taking the hits for bad jokes.
But would you do it in front of a live audience?
What's that?
Would you do it in front of a live audience?
Oh, no, never.
I think that's what the story was
really?
about. Yeah, she did a joke and it sucked, and she goes, why would you write that for me? And she was dead serious.
Wow, I don't know.
While they were in break.
Yeah, no, she sucks.
You had good writers on Lucky Louie, man.
Every one of them.
They were funny, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you call lesbians in Australia?
Stiff tongues.
Stiff tongues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stiff tongues.
Stiff
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they always have? Are their tongues
do we
always
get in
stiff?
trouble there?
Yeah, don't say it 8,000 times until we see if it went through.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
What are you shaking your head? Oh,
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah, you
Good.
just can't describe, but just say
Yeah,
stiff tongues.
It's just a name.
Yeah, not all Australians do. That just me and my brother, really, but we're both Australians.
It's plural. It makes it plural. 2 guys.
All right, we're just about wrapping up here. Once again, here's the sound you're listening for tomorrow if you want to win $1,000, courtesy of the Opie and Anthony Show. Between 7 and 7:30, we'll play this.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
There you go. That'll be your cue to call to win the $1,000.
And then punch him.
What's the taffy?
It's just a dumb thing that
There was
happened.
some guy that called up, and he stunk. His phone call stunk.
He lost a couple teeth because he was chewing on the taffy. And we're like, why would you do that if you knew your teeth were a little loose? So he needs the money to get his teeth fixed.
I had one of those great lame moments yesterday where I tried to explain someone the sausage phone call.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't really tell it right. I was just an idiot. I was just going, well, he had a 16-ounce sausage, and now he's only got a 12-ounce sausage, and he can't feed his family. And people are like, that's not funny. And I'm going, was. Definitely was.
we were laughing about it. I don't know.
His voice bothers me. There's something about the way he goes, the sausage, the package.
Yeah.
His voice goes, it's like a knife.
Package.
This is what Jim Jefferies is talking about. Let's try to squeeze it in from yesterday.
Hello, 12-ounce guy.
Oh, this is the guy calling Jimmy Dean because he's really pissed off about the 16-ounce sausage going down to a 12-ounce sausage.
For the same price.
Same price, and he's leaving this on hold.
Hello, 12-ounce goddamn.
Well, at this point, sorry, it really needs a little more setup. He's waiting to leave his message, and he's talking to his family.
Little 12-ounce goddamn roll of sausage supposed to feed your brother and me and you 600 pounds of men, at least. You get my point? And the 2 girls, and they put it in that pussy roll of sausage. Son of a bitch. Somebody needs their ass kicked. Some little consumer geekaroid. Save money, yeah, save money, save money. I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
That's amazing.
And meanwhile,
the next bit's better.
No, it gets better because
That's amazing.
Meanwhile, that's what he wants to do. He said save money. He doesn't want to buy 2 12-ounce.
He really
wants to save money.
there's some advertising that says this will feed a whole family, and he says him and his fat family
His whole fat
feel
family.
taken.
Yeah.
They feel
They
taken.
used to buy 16 ounce, and now the company have dropped it back to 12 ounce, and
Yeah.
he's outraged.
He's just outraged.
we got to speed along because they're going to knock us off the air. So now it's time to leave the message.
Yeah.
Randy Taylor, I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your product. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you've got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that. It ain't going to work. And I'm not going to purchase your product anymore or ever again.
Ever again.
I love this guy.
Oh my God!
12-ounce sausage.
But it's the way he says the G at the end. Sausage. People who do that sound drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Sausage.
I love that man.
A couple of dozen eggs and a side of beef and an entire pig.
Supposed to feed the family. Oh, no.
She's a little plump.
Just an open spigot of milkshake, and that's a 12-ounce sausage.
Here's part 2 of the message.
Angry.
And as far as your 16-ounce and maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man. Jimmy Dean sausage is for Southern people to eat with their breakfast, with their fried eggs and their T-bone steaks. And I can't see going to a little 12-ounce package to feed 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. I'd sure like a reply, and I'd sure like you to go back to your 16-ounce package on your regular sausage, because I'm not going to buy it otherwise ever again. I'll just have my own damn sausage made like I used to 30-something years ago. It's not as tasty as yours is, but it'll work. Goodbye.
It'll work keeping us
How am I
fat.
supposed to feed my kids
Maple
with
sage.
12-ounce sausage and the world of food?
That gets better and better the
Every
more you
bit of
hear
That
it.
guy rules.
He does rule.
Oh,
I love it how
damn
he's angry, but he keeps complimenting.
Yeah.
You got your 16-ounce maple sage, but that's for the north.
For the north.
That's
I'm a
for the
Texas
north.
man.
I'm Texas man.
That's for men who bed other men.
Yeah.
We lay down with a woman. We don't like maple. or sage.
The thing I like picturing him with his reading glasses, reading the number off the package while he's dialing it. Literally thick glasses. Let me see right here what that number is.
Yeah.
Customer service for the
Let's see
Jimmy
now.
Dean sausage.
We're getting requests for that to be put up on onaradio.com.
It's the greatest thing I've
Can we
ever
do
heard.
that?
That's fantastic.
All right, we'll put that up on onaradio.com.
It's gonna be my phone ring.
We're out of here. Yeah, Jim
Jefferies tonight and Sunday.
Caroline's.
Caroline's,
Yes.
212-757-4100. Sweet Louis C.K. Saturday night, the North Fork, whatever it is.
North
It's the
Fork.
old Westbury Music Fair in Long Island.
That's
go
right.
to Ticketmaster.
Or lewisck.com for information.
Yes, and for me, go to my MySpace for information on my Brigado show in January.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
And by the way, no XM show today.
Yes,
and the
we're
reason
clear.
is there's a master computer that is completely shut down. So
The ENIAC.
no live XM show today, but they'll play some fine older stuff, I guess. And then the chatter begins, but that is the God's honest truth. They're having a major issue with equipment over there today. So we'll see everybody tomorrow live starting at 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Thanks, guys.